If you find yourself here, understand it's okay to be there. It's not okay to stay there because you don't grow at that stage. You're frustrated at that stage. You're not motivated at that stage. It's okay to be at stage 2. Don't stay there very long. Question then becomes, how do I get out of that stage? There's a couple of ways to do that. First of all, if you need a checkup from the neck up, find somebody that believes in you, that loves you enough to look you in the eye and tell you the truth, but at the same time encourage you. My wife does that. She's the best at it. I met her when she was 16. That's 47. No, I'm teasing. That was not really true. So I was 18. She was the strongest woman I've ever met. I'm married. And Cindy is there for me. I can miss planes. I can have people. We had something that blew up at the office, and I'm out here in the parking lot across from the chamber yesterday talking to Tom Ziglar and our salesperson and this customer, and it just flew off the handle. So last night I got with Cindy and said, you got to help me. I said, okay, what now? And she's there talking me off the ledge. You need people that will remind you you're capable. And my wife does it. She's my chief cheerleader. However, if you know anything about Cindy, you'll know that regularly she goes out for retail therapy and I can't get her on the phone. Well, then what do? If your buddies are gone, if you can't get a hold of your coach, now you got to come inward. To get out of this stage, you need to come inward. Zig has a great way of doing that on page 84. Now, we have his new book up here, which is a revised edition. It'll be page 54. But on page 84, what he talks about here, and this is good. You may want to write this down. This is pretty good. Make a victory list. Make a victory list to remind you of your past success. This victory list should include those things that gave you the most satisfaction and confidence. As you periodically review this victory list, you will be reminded that you have succeeded in the past and that you're capable in the future. Folks, you need to give yourself a checkup from the neck up. It doesn't have to come from outward. It doesn't have to come from someone else. It can come from you. Well, you did that, you little rascal, because Judy, the second time we thumb wrestled, you pinned my thumb because you became what? Consciously competent. When you're consciously competent, you know that you know. It's top of mind, it's deliberate, but you can consciously, deliberately work your way through that behavior, that situation, that customer, that competitive situation. You're consciously competent. The 4th stage is the stage we're all striving for. We're so good at what we do, we don't know it, and we become unconsciously competent. When you're unconsciously competent, it's like the athletes. They're in the zone. You're in the zone with a customer, a prospect. You leave that zone and you say, man, that was good. What did I do? I need to do that better. Give yourself an evaluation. Keith, if you're new to this, you've got to give yourself an evaluation. What's working, what's not working? There's nothing wrong with doing that because now, when you're in the zone, you don't know it because it's unconscious. But now when you leave the zone, you look back, I can do that. I've got to remind myself to do that more often. Let me tell you where I am on this chart as a professional salesperson. If I had to grade myself, which you're about to do, if I had to grade myself as a professional salesperson, this is where I would rate myself. I'm in the 2nd and 3rd levels. And you're saying, Flanagan, hold on. You must be from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You've been doing this 43 years, and you're not any better than this? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's me. But I look at this, and I'm excited. Because I look at this, and I see my potential. Because, folks, this is how I look at this chart. I'm still growing. My greatest victories as a sales professional are ahead of me. Soon to be 43 years of marriage, my greatest victories as a husband are ahead of me. Your greatest victories are ahead of you. Kevin, if you're full grown, we can go to the games, we can have lunch together, but don't join my team. You're going to bring my team down. If I'm full grown, you don't want me on your team because I'm going to bring your team down. Folks, I want people on the grow. If you're not growing, go find something else to do. If you're not satisfied by growing, you got to find something. That's a heck of a way to spend 8 hours, I'm sorry, Gary, 4 hours a day of work. What happens is that we need to be on the grow. And I'm excited about this because I do believe my future's ahead of me. I got a lot of tread left on the tire. All right. Let me give you my baseball, and I apologize for the non-baseball. My dad was a baseball player, he was a minor league baseball player. He met my mother in Bunkie or Morrow or wherever it was that they met. My my dad was working for some feed store and getting ready to go to work for Exxon so he could recruit, pitch, manage, and organize a semi-pro baseball team. Field of Dreams, a good part of Field of Dreams is our store. So I'm a big baseball fan. I used to box. I didn't tell you, Larry, I had to stop boxing. My hands got injured boxing. The referee kept stepping on them. So I'm going to take my baseball analogy. Mickey Mantle was one of my first heroes. Mickey Mantle was a natural. He moved so quickly to the fourth stage that he was a Hall of Famer. He hit 536 home runs, 18 home runs in World Series competition, won the Triple Crown. He was a natural. Fourth stage. The problem that Mickey had, he didn't spend very much time in the third stage. So when he got into a sales slump, or hitting slump, he had to hit his way out because he couldn't correct himself. He was a natural. His biggest regret, other than not taking care of himself, he didn't hit 300 lifetime. He hit 298. My all-time hero, Ted Williams, was also unconsciously competent. He was also a natural. But Williams could slip down to the third level and correct his swings when he was off. He wrote a book, The Science of Hitting. People learn to hit by reading Williams from the third level. Now here's the problem in your company. You bring a new person on, you say, new person, go follow Mickey, he's the best we got. And Mickey says, follow me, kid, I'm the best we got. And you go, Mickey, how'd you do that? I don't know, just do what I did. Now, unless you're a clone of Mickey Mantle, unless you're a clone, that ain't working. And the reason it's not working is that Mickey couldn't teach. Therefore, you had a bad coach and a frustrated follower. So write this down. Here comes one of the points. This is almost good. Write this down. You model from stage 4, you coach from stage 3. You model from stage 4, you coach from stage 3. Now, what does that mean to an Irishman? Folks, when you're seeking help, find a coach who can coach. Not just say, watch me do what I do. Folks, I cannot sell like Zig Ziglar. Zig sold pots and pans, waterless cookware with home parties. Some of you remember those days. They had people come over in the neighborhood and you would put it on and guy or gal would come out and make you a 3-course meal, waterless cookware. The next day you would try to sell it. That I've never sold in people's homes. That's not what I do. I can't sell like Zig, but I can use his principles from stage 3 and get better. And that's exactly what happened to me. Even though when I got a hold of Zig, I was teaching sales at the National Training Center for the IBM Corporation, the finest sales at the time, the finest sales organization in the world. But I was still learning from Zig. That was my opening. That's what said, aha, I got to get better at this. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Questions, answers, comments, snide remarks. I take them all. We're okay? All home? All right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get with your thumb wrestling partner. I want you to turn to your thumb wrestling. And if you guys, you got through 3 could work together, or have you. I know that sometimes we had an odd man, or in this case, an odd person. No, an odd number. So turn to your group there. I want you to do 3 things. Number 1, I want you to choose a skill. Number 1, choose a selling skill. My selling skill would be prospecting. So Rhonda, if you and I are working together, I would say my skill is prospecting. That's my skill. Number 2, I would tell my partner where I would rate myself on this chart. Where is my proficiency on this chart? Well, mine is at number 3. I'm consciously competent as a prospecting person. Now, this is the biggie. I want you to provide to your partner evidence of why you would rate yourself at that level. It's got to be specific, observable reason, behavioral evidence of why you would rate yourself at that level. So, Rhonda, once again, if we're working together, my skill is prospecting. I rated myself as a 3. Here's why. If I'm in Dallas, Texas, which I travel a lot, but if I know I'm going to be in Dallas, I'll call ahead to a networking group. We have a lot of networking groups in North Texas. I'll ask the person, the meeting planner, how often do you have somebody like me come out and do, like say, a short 10-minute training program? I'll give away some Ziglar products by drawing your business cards. Oh yeah, we do that. So I'll go to Papacito's on the North Dallas Tollway, 11:30, and I'll speak for 10 minutes, and I'll have 50 people there. I'll have a drawing. We give away some product, but I keep the business cards. And I use those with my salespeople to prospect. So I met the 3 requirements. I've given skill, I've given a rating, and then I gave evidence. My partner would then tell me a skill, no matter what skill he or she chose. They would tell me a skill, they would rate themselves, and they would give me specific evidence to support why they rated themselves at that level. Fair enough. This is a 4-minute exercise. If you have a question, I'll be on the floor. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. Ready, get set. Turn to your buddy, your budette. Grow.